The University of Technology in Sydney is lowering the engineering entry bar for female school leavers.
What?
Let the demonetization process begin.
They can get into the course with 10 fewer ATAR points.
It's been a while since I've done a proper video response of anything of substance. Not that this is anything of substance, but I will endure to do my very best for my audience. Let's get this show on the road.
And this is part of a plan to get more women to study engineering and consequently get into the engineering workforce. Engineering is a very male-dominated industry and workplace.
Why is that an issue? Nursing is a female-dominated industry, and I don't see anyone having a cow over this nonsense. Teaching, also a female-dominated industry. Not a word. Stripping, also a female-dominated industry. Zip. Maternity fraud. Now that is an interesting case. I do hear a lot of that from the other side of the aisle, but not from a lot of females, which is interesting. I was under the impression that we were striving for equality in all things. And Twitch Thoughts, that's also a female-dominated industry, if I'm not mistaken. Not a single voice of concern. Choosy, aren't we? Why are we not closing these gender gaps?
And apparently that is a big turn-off for women wanting to study engineering in the first place.
A surplus of men in a concentrated area? A turn-off to women? Huh? Maybe in the case of the cast of Superbad. Sure, I'll grant you that. But ladies, let's be quite frank. If you can't at least make it as an engineer in the field, at least then you can easily find yourself a stable, husband figure to settle down with. Am I right? That is the plan. Is it not?
Is this the way to turn it round?
Look, it is. It's the old saying, if you can't see it, you won't be it. And women look at that sort of field and think, ooh.
So that's how the incels manage. 1 moment. Hello, ladies. What a nice set of parabolas you have. Madam, would you like to be the numerator to my denominator? Your name must be Processor, because you are hot. Hey, baby. I'd switch to Emacs for you. Hey, sexy. Can I see your blueprints? I want to lay some pipe in you, and I need to know that you're structurally sound enough to do so. I love these glasses so much.
And I think a lot of people are sort of saying, oh, well, this means women are getting into the course who won't be able to do it.
Exactly the case here. Listen. I don't expect you to be able to write a search algorithm if you can't write an if-else statement first. It's not how this works, all right?
And that's simply not true. More than half of Australian students who enrol in bachelor courses do so without the right ATAR.
Well, that explains a lot.
There's a whole lot of other things universities do. So positive discrimination, we know it works, and it makes the industries better, it makes businesses better, so I think this is a really positive move.
You're going to have to cite that for me, please.
Gareth, Dee's right. A number of universities allocate adjustment points based on disadvantage or illness predominantly, but this is the first time it's been based on gender.
Strides we've made as a species, ladies and gentlemen, to come so far from hitting rocks together in an effort to manifest fire or stone tools, only to take miles of steps in the opposite direction. Baffling, isn't it?
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a really good idea to try and encourage more women to study engineering fields.
Yes, encourage. Not have it beaten into their skulls that they're only 10 points shy of being just as good as male folk in front of them, in line on their merry way to the Tech Institute where they can get their government-subsidized protractors and architect rules.
But I'm not 100% convinced that this will work.
We have a male voice of reason here, and I hope that everything will be just fine because of it.
I think we'll need to wait 5, 6, 7 years to see if in fact it does boost the number of graduates who come through.
I spoke too soon.
I had a look at UTS's ATAR ranks already for engineering, and you can get into engineering at UTS if you want to study software or data engineering with an ATAR of about 72.
So, an ATAR score of 72 points minus 10 divided by 72 equals... Where the sprickensy heckin' is my calculator? 1 moment. Oh, yes, there it is, my TI-84 Plus. Never leave home without it, ladies and gentlemen. Carry the one. That's 86.1% of the score. And I think I might just have happened to solve the Australian wage gap problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome. I'll take my payment via any of the links you can find down in the description down below. Thank you very much.
Now, that is not some sort of insurmountable barrier. You can get into electrical engineering with an 82 or an 83. Now, they are not what I would call... It's not like, 97, 98% ATAR that you need to get into medicine or some law courses. So I just wonder whether, in fact, it is the academic requirements on the way in that are stopping women from engineering. I suspect there's probably other things going on.
Oh? Do tell.
And I actually suspect it's because most women don't want to be engineers.
Bingo. Yahtzee. Huzzah. Shazam. Gollum.
Now, this may work. I'm not convinced it will work, but I think that the goal is right. You just got to get the policy right.
Listen, guys. The best way to even out the engineering gap, and in fact any such gap that exists that you're not happy about, is to go full-on fascists. That means that if you want a perfect balance of equality in a certain workforce, either force women into those rules via human rights violations or force men out of those rules via human rights violations.
Yeah, well, given that, we're all living in buildings and riding public transport and driving cars, I mean, surely, that female input ultimately is got to be a good thing.
This is going to be gold. Let me hear it.
Oh my God, I can't remember how many buildings I've been in where you see something as a woman, you think, no,
the kitchen should not have gone there.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. A woman should have input about kitchen-related shenanigans.
Whoever designed, some toilets in airports, you just go, no, you need somewhere for your makeup.
Or you could just not wear makeup to the airport while you're traveling with a million other strangers who don't give a flying fuck what you look like. Maybe I'm just...
Just on that point, toilets everywhere, all over the world. How often do you stand outside public toilets and there's a queue for women?
Not all that often, to be quite frank, but I don't think having more women in engineering will help that in the slightest. Perhaps I can entice you into buying a Shiwi to fix that problem. Only $9.99 on Amazon.
Yes.
And no queue for men. And men are running in and out and the women are queued up.
Absolutely.
Can someone please out there provide more female toilets in public spaces?
No, but all jokes aside, let me tell you guys, the soft bigotry of low expectations is rather insulting when you actually consider its implications. I mean, when you actually think about it from the perspective of reality. You see, you're saying that the reason women, my gender, aren't represented equally in certain workforces is because they're intimidated by the male presence, which is... might or might not be the case. I haven't the foggiest. But your solution to that problem is to lower the standards that you hold women to when compared to men in these fields. Actions speak decibels louder than words ever could, ladies and gentlemen. And what you just told women is that you expect that they aren't able to compete on that same level. Whether or not it's true statistically matters very little, because you've affirmed and you've solidified to these women that that intimidation factor will be compounded. Congratulations. You played yourself.